Shelby Howard. I'm back to do the second experiment in my culturing microbes lab report. So here we're going to do the E. coli first, which I have right here. I'm going to go ahead and grab my my loop right here. I'm going to shake well until it is dry. It appears to be dry. I'm going to hold it in my hand, keeping it sterile, undo the cap of the E. coli, and run it through the flame to sterilize the top of it, not touching it with my gloves or anything of that nature. Going to remove the cap of the agar plate. I'm going to not touch the rims or anything. Dip the loop in here. I'm going to set that down. I'm going to grab my agar plate and slowly glide this across the quadrant. I'm now going to put it back in the alcohol. And I'm going to close this. And I'm going to go ahead and re-sterilize this by putting it back over the candle, putting the cap back on, and I'm going to put it back in its spot right here. I am now going to re-grab the loop I was using, shake dry again. It appears to be dry. I'm going to remove the lid, turn it over. I'm going to take the agar plate and slowly wipe this second quadrant. I'm now going to put the cap back on, place the loop in here for another 20 seconds, and then I'll move on to quadrant 3. Going to take it out, shake it again until it's dry. It appears to be dry. I'm going to now do the third quadrant right here. As I'm closing this, I'm putting the loop back in the alcohol to sterilize it again. And then I'm going to be moving on to quadrant 4, which is my last quadrant. So after that, I'm going to throw this loop away. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my bucket that I have that has my bleach already in it. Okay, I'm going to grab the loop, shake it again. Okay, it appears to be dry. Uncover it, and now I'm going to do the fourth quadrant right over here. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to go ahead and place this off to the side, because now I'm going to put that one in incubation. I'm going to go ahead and place this one in my sterile bleach bucket. And I'm going to sterilize it for 2 hours in there, and then I'll be able to dispose of it. So now I am going to grab my next loop. Shake it. And then we're going to be doing the S. epidermidis. So the loop is dry. I'm going to uncap this part. this tube, place it off to the side, grab the tube, spin it over the light, the candle, so that I can go ahead and sterilize it. I'm going to open this so that I can have my first quadrant ready. I'm going to dip the loop in there, and I'm going to spread it right here on the first quadrant. I'm going to put the loop in the alcohol. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to run this back through the loop with the candle light right over here to sterilize the top. Without touching the top with my gloves or anything, I'm going to put the cap back on. Set this over here to the side. I'm going to grab this loop, going to shake it off, making sure it's dry. Okay, it appears to be dry. I'm going to uncap it and just drag it right here on quadrant 2. Going to put the loop in alcohol, recap this one, wait 20 seconds, and then redo the same process in the third quadrant. While I'm going ahead and rubbing the loop across the alcohol plates, I'm making sure not to tear any of the base layer that we put in there. I'm making sure not to tear any of the agar or anything like that. Taking this out of here, shaking it. Okay, I'm removing the cap now. I'm doing the third quadrant right here, making sure to not rip that agar that is down there. Placing that in the alcohol, and now I'm going to recover this, and then we're going to be moving on to our fourth quadrant. So now I'm going to go ahead and shake this off one last time. And it appears to be dry. I'm going to go ahead and spin this around right here and do the fourth quadrant. I'm going to now take this loop, I'm going to dip it in alcohol, and then I'm going to just transfer it straight to my bucket with bleach in it, and it's going to sit there for a couple hours. I'm going to then move this one off to the side. Now we are doing the S. Cerevisiae, which is also kind of like yeast. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my inoculation loop. Let's set that down for a second. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and grab this, taking the lid off, making sure not to touch the rim or anything like that with my gloves. I'm going to go ahead and sterilize this by spinning it through the flame. Okay. I'm now going to take this, take the lid off down here, spin this around. Not touching the sides or anything going in, I'm going to grab this and place it right here in the first quadrant. I'm going to place that in the alcohol, and I'm going to spin the tube at the top across the flame to re-sanitize it. I'm going to put the cap back on and place this to the side. I'm going to put the lid back on, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab the loop, shake it again, and it appears to be dry, so I'm going to go ahead and do the second quadrant, just taking the inoculation loop and sliding it this direction. Okay, take it, put that back in the alcohol, recap this. But now I'm going to wait for the third quadrant to be done. I'm going to go ahead and blow out my candle since I'm waiting. Okay. I'm going to grab the inoculation tube. Okay, it appears to be dry. Going to untap this, pick this up, and do the third quadrant right over here. I'm going to put that back in there, let it sit for 20 seconds, and now I'm going to do the fourth quadrant, and after that I'll be completing this experiment, and I'll be putting all of these into incubation for 48 to 72 hours. So I'm going to grab this one for its final quadrant, shake it really well to make sure it's dry again. It appears to be dry. I'm going to go ahead and grab it, spin this, and this is my last fourth quadrant right here. So I'm going to cap this, put this in the alcohol, and then I'm going to just put it into my bleach bucket and let it sit for 2 hours. So I'm going to go put these in incubation, and I'll see you in 48 to 72 hours.